The sun over the desert wasteland burned like a merciless eye, staring down at the broken and forgotten lands where only the strongest dared to wander, and it was beneath that blistering sky that he stumbled, half-conscious and barely alive, dragging his feet through rust-colored sand that swallowed the footsteps of countless lost souls long before him. His name, at least the part he still remembered, was Elias, a wanderer with no direction left, a man whose past had been carved into him with the cruelty of betrayal and fire, a man who had once belonged to a thriving settlement only to watch it burn under raiders, leaving him with nothing but ashes in his lungs and the echo of screams in his ears. And so he wandered, following no map, guided only by hunger, regret, and the instinct to survive, until the day the desert itself seemed ready to claim him. His vision blurred, his throat scraped dry. He fell to his knees, feeling the heat like hot metal pressing into his palms, feeling his heartbeat slow, feeling the last thread of his will fraying apart, until he heard the rumble of hooves and the whisper of wind carrying a sound that didn't belong to the wasteland, the low, rhythmic chanting of women, strong voices layered together like the heartbeat of the earth itself. And when he raised his head, he saw them. Descending from the ridge, riders, women, adorned with raven feathers, turquoise beads, leather armor etched with symbols he did not recognize. But their presence struck him like a force of nature. They were warriors, resolute and unwavering, their eyes sharp as obsidian, and at their head rode a woman whose very presence seemed to command the air around her. Tall, ageless, her hair streaked in silver that shone against the dying light, her posture the kind of steady, immovable authority that could quiet storms. She was Nalina, matriarch of the Apache bloodline that had survived centuries of war, migration, oppression, and apocalypse. Now reborn as a fierce remnant tribe that roamed the wasteland not as refugees, but as sovereign guardians of their traditions. She dismounted with fluid confidence, stepping toward Elias with the gait of someone who had weathered 100 battles and silenced 1,000 doubts, her dark eyes studying him not with pity, but with judgment as though weighing his soul. And when she knelt beside him, he felt the rare, impossible sensation of being seen, as if she saw past the dirt, the blood, the emptiness, and recognized something buried beneath the ruin he had become. She touched his chest with 2 fingers, feeling his heartbeat, and her voice, low, steady, commanding, broke through the haze in his mind. "You are not meant to die here, stranger," she said, her accent rich with ancient echoes. "The wasteland has not finished with you." He tried to speak, but his throat produced only a rasp, and so she signaled her riders. They lifted him with practiced care, placing him onto the back of a horse, surrounding him like a living wall as they carried him toward their camp, a hidden sanctuary carved into the cliffs, protected by traps, watchtowers, and the wisdom of generations. As they entered, he felt the shift in the air, the scent of burning sage, the thrum of drumbeats echoing in distant chambers, the hum of a community that moved with unity and unspoken strength. They laid him beside a fire where healers worked with herbs that burned with sharp, cleansing fragrances, drawing his mind back from the edge of death. In fevered dreams, he saw flashes, the fire that took his home, the betrayal that cost him everything, the desperate nights wandering through silence. And yet, through it all, he felt her presence, the matriarch standing watch over him like a guardian carved from stone and spirit. When he finally woke, his body wrapped in warm hides, his wounds salved, the crackling fire painting the cavern walls in gold, Nalina stood before him, arms crossed, gaze unrelenting. "You are awake," she said, though it was not a statement of relief but acknowledgement, as if confirming a prophecy had been fulfilled. Elias sat up slowly, feeling strength he hadn't known in weeks, and he began to ask why they had saved him, but the matriarch raised a hand, silencing him with the simple authority of a leader who did not explain herself, unless she wished to. "I found you in the wasteland because the spirits guided me," she said, "and I do not ignore their commands. Our bloodline has survived famine, war, and the fall of empires, but survival requires renewal. My daughters are strong, my warriors are unmatched, but our lineage thins. Our roots require new strength." She stepped closer, her shadow falling over him. You carry sorrow, but not weakness. Loss has carved you, but not broken you. A man shaped by fire can father a new fire. Elias stared at her, unable to grasp the weight of her words, but she continued with unwavering clarity. I offer you a place among us, not as a prisoner, not as a servant, but as the foundation of a renewed bloodline. Our people will endure, and you, if you accept, will help carry that future. The word struck him harder than any blow he had taken, leaving him breathless. He had wandered with no purpose, no hope, and now this woman, this leader, offered him not mere survival, but meaning, belonging, legacy. He tried to speak, to ask why him, why a broken man from a burned settlement, but she already seemed to read his doubts. Because the wasteland does not give gifts, she said. It reveals truth. And when I looked at you lying there half dead, I saw not a lost wanderer. I saw a man waiting for a reason to rise again. Silence settled between them, heavy, laden with destiny. The fire crackled. The distant drums throbbed like the pulse of the earth itself. And Elias realized that fate had dragged him to this place not to end his story, but to rewrite it entirely. And as the matriarch extended her hand, not gently, not softly, but firmly, as a leader offers a challenge, he felt something awaken inside him, something fierce, something long buried beneath grief and dust, the spark of purpose. The wasteland had taken everything from him. Now, perhaps, it had led him to something worth rebuilding for.